Bukas, si Senador Ronald Bato de la Rosa na imbestigahan ang flood control projects kahit sa ilalim ng administrasyon ng kaalyado niyang si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Sa isang panayam nitong Miyerkules, binigyang diin ni de la Rosa na walang dapat palampasin sa investigasyon, anuman ang panahon ng kanilang panunungkulan. So, what kung 2016? Kung gumawa sila ng kalokohan panahon na yon, dapat imbestigahan. Ani ng senador. Dagdag pa niya, pera ng bayan yan. Di porket during the time of PRRD, i-exempt natin sa investigation. Di pwede yon, kahit panahon pa ni Pnoy. Sa pagdinig ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee nitong Lunes, binanggit ni Sara Diskaya, may-ari ng siyam na contractor companies, na noong 2016 pa sila nagsimulang makakuha ng mga flood control projects matapos tanungin mismo ni De La Rosa.
Lumabas sa mga nakaraang pagdinig ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee na naganap ang License for Rent Scheme kung saan may mga kumpanyang gaya ng Wawaw at St. Timothy na pinagdududahang dami contractors. Anya, maging si dating Department of Public Works and Highway Secretary Manuel Bonoan ay umamin na totoong nangyayari ang ganitong gawain. Binatikos ng senadora ang kawalan ng epektibong mekanismo para masuri ng maigi ang mga kontraktor na anya'y nagdudulot ng patuloy na problema sa mga proyekto Department of Public Works and Highways.
It looks like they are dummy companies, no? Yung diniscuss namin sa floor kahapon na kamakalawa, if I'm not mistaken, na ang dami talagang nagpapahiram ng lisensya. License for rent talaga. At yung mga diskaya, may mga feelers na nagsasabi na magsasalita na sila na kung sino yung mga pinahiram nila ng lisensya. Alam natin, bawal yun, pero klaro yan eh, di ba? Yung hearing, klaro yan. Even Secretary Bonoan made mention na totoo na nagpapahiram, nabebenta, and dun nga sa tanong na pagka na-blacklist, etc., ang bilis nakakagawa ng kumpanya at nakakapasok. Wala talagang mekanismo. So, talagang doomed to fail yung mechanisms natin para i-check kung itong mga kumpanya nito, itong mga contractors na ito, talagang tumatalima sa batas. And so, with all of this, dun nagsimula sa pick-up, susunod sa mga kontrak, susunod sa mafia ng DPWH, ito, equal sa this problem na nagsasuffer ang taong bayan.
Dagdag pa ni Villanueva, hindi dapat malis ang atensyon ng publiko mula sa mga tunay na sangkot dahil lamang sa mga nagkakalat ng maling impormasyon. Anya, nakikipag-ugnayan na siya sa kanyang mga abogado upang kasuhan ng mga nasa likod ng pagpapakalat ng kasinungalingan. Ipinahayag ito ni Villanueva matapos kumalat ang ilang video at larawan na tila ipinapakita na malapit umanong kanyang ugnayan kay dating Department of Public Works and Highways District Engineer ng Bulacan 1st District na si Henry Alcantara na sangkot sa mga ghost flood control projects.
Ito, kaya dapat file na ng kaso yan. Ako, sasabihin ko na po sa inyo, pati yung mga nag-spread ng fake news, nag-usap na kami ng mga lawyers namin. Itong spreading of lies, it's too much, and if not reduced, so we will also file cases against them.
Samantala, hinamon naman ni Villanueva ang pamilya Diskaya na diretsyong pangalanan ang mga kumpanyang pinahiram nila ng lisensya. Anya, malino na pinahiram ang kanilang mga kumpanya at gumamit ng mga subcontracting at joint venture loopholes upang maging legal ang operasyon. Git na Majority Leader, dapat maging mas maagap ang pamahalaan sa pagtutok sa ganitong anomalya at hindi lamang umasa sa mga papeles na isinusumite ng mga kontraktor.
Yung mga diskaya, they were saying na sasabihin na nila ang katotohanan. So, huwag na nila sabihin na gano'n, puro gano'n sila. Ituro na nila, sabihin nila, hiniram yung 9 na kumpanya, 31 billion. 31 billion, sino maniniwala sa atin lahat na kaya nila yon, yung they have the capacity to really run such operation as big as that. So, talagang pinapahiram contract nila, yung binanggit ko sa floor, no? Yung subcontracting loophole, yung joint venture loophole, dun sila umiikot eh. And somehow, nagiging legal yon para ano nila yung kanilang gawain, no? But the government should be proactive. We cannot be in the passive side na, ito na lang, ano na lang yung makita natin, di ba? Ito na lang, ito yung sinabit sa atin na papeles. And this information that I'm talking about will be supported by documents, will be supported by facts. So yun ang importante. Yung mga diskaya, they were saying na sasabihin na nila ang katotohanan. So, wag na nila sabihin na gano'n, no? Puro gano'n sila. Ituro na nila, sabihin nila, hiniram yung 9 na kumpanya, 31 billion. 31 billion. Sino ba maniniwala sa atin lahat na kaya nila yon? They have the capacity to really run such operation, no, as big as that. So, talagang pinapahiram nila, subcontract nila. Yung binanggit ko sa floor, no? Yung subcontracting loophole, yung joint venture loophole, dun sila umiikot eh. And somehow, nagiging legal yon para ano nila yung kanilang gawain, no? But the government should be proactive. We cannot be in the passive side na ito na lang, ano na lang yung makita natin, di ba? Ito na lang, ito yung sinabit sa atin na papeles. And this information that I'm talking about will be supported by documents, will be supported by facts. So yun ang importante. And
night, no, to discuss the problems that have arisen with respect to this 2026 budget. As you know, last week or even earlier, we went to you and explained to you our misgivings about the 2026 budget with respect to the Department of Public Works. How the district budgets all over the country were mangled, and how really serious questions needed to be raised about those budget entries. We raised questions about whether or not the DBM was handling the budget preparations properly, and whether or not what was coming to us was a result of irresponsibility or some oversight that maybe can be justified, no? And we worked, frankly, with the DBM very closely on how to settle all of these things. But, you know, certain serious developments have come about. No? I mean, the Secretary of Public Works has been relieved, of course, he has resigned. And our new, very energetic Secretary of DOTR has become also the new Secretary now of DPWH, which has resulted in the President's instructions to them to do a sweeping review of everything, not just the organization, but also of the budgets that they had submitted. Now, we will recall that in the SONA of our President, he said that he would not allow the national expenditure program of the national government to be mangled, you know, to be disfigured. He said that if that was going to happen, he was going to, you know, accept a reenacted budget instead. He would not, you know, tolerate any of these things happening. So it's in this spirit that we came together and we were talking to one another. And we want to be true to what the President wishes from our House of Representatives. You know, frankly, I am the newest member here. I just came back to Congress this term. So a lot of the issues that were being discussed about prior years, I really was not very familiar with until I was actually briefed by our colleagues here. But I frankly was shocked because, you know, from 2004 when I was here, a lot of things have apparently happened. So, you know, like flood control projects, you know, in tens of billions of pesos, were suspicious. No, there were double entries, there were missing entries, suddenly emerging entries. There were double appropriations. There were oversized lump sum nationwide allocations. So, in the beginning, we were thinking this is maybe just public works, no? But, you know, we have been slowly going over the other agencies as well. Little by little, some things have been appearing, no, and surfacing. In the DILG, for example, where, you know, as you know, I have some experience, some questions, again, recently were raised about, you know, purchase of firearms and whether or not they were in the budget. There was supposed to be an 8 billion entry or insertion in the budgets. Frankly, we have been looking for the item in the 2025 budget for an 8 billion purchase. We didn't so far see it. unless DBM can produce it for us. In the 2026 budget, it's not there either. So we don't know where that whole discussion is coming from. So in the National Unity Party, we have requested Congressman Roland Valeriano, who is head of the Committee on Public Order and Safety, to assess the situation, maybe call a hearing, invite the people concerned to see what is this matter that we are talking about here. Because frankly, the congressmen are in the dark about this. So, how do we move forward when what has been given to us is very difficult to deal with? For example, in the Department of Public Works, for example, just in our National Unity Party, I've reported to you already previously that maybe 90% of the district budgets were really mangled. In discussions with the other parties, it appears to be a common experience rather than a rare experience. There are already other things we are coming up with in other agencies. No, I will advance to you the information that in the Department of Agriculture, there are indications of similar problems, specifically with reference to farm-to-market roads in the amount of something like 10 billion pesos. No? And we are getting reports that these were also like peddled, no, to certain